right, I'm back again with you. My name is Enoke Kaumba. At this moment in time, I am joined by, telephonically, that is by our reporter from the Kavango region, Michael Thikusho. And today we are just looking back at the story that he did regarding child poverty, or should I say generational poverty. Michael, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, Michael, can you just start by maybe giving us more information about this story with regards to the key details of this story?
So, generational poverty grips Kavango. This was the title of the story, and the reason why we wanted to do this story was mainly to highlight some of the factors not often spoken about as major contributing factors to never ending poverty in Namibia as a whole, and more especially in the Kavango regions, west and east. I mean, these two regions have consistently been ranked as the poorest for over the last 7 years. So we've gone into the lives of these people to really just see how having a house as a child can impact or hinder one's advancement with their education. And also we've tried to look at how cheap child labor is another poverty contributing factor, as well as early marriage. And so what you'll see or notice is that all these factors leads a child to exclusion from participating in education. And in doing this story, we came to a realization that so many people, especially in rural areas, have gone through these, sometimes employed as cattle headers in the third grade, because the situation at home isn't that great, and they are forced to sort of also be part of the team, or the team of breadwinners, to say the least, just so they can help with putting bread on the table. The key detail in this story is that exclusion from getting educated, at least up to grade 12, is seen, or the impacts are seen after so many years, after the reach working age 18 or 20, 21 or so. And the impacts of not receiving education is that they do not develop, usually they do not develop or have a chance to develop any skills, any other skills. And so historically in the Kavango regions, west and east, most people have traditionally relied on subsistence farming. So most of the time, the skill that uh, individuals or people that haven't received an education such that they advance up to tertiary level or even grade 10, so that they can get vocational skills, is that the only other skill they have that they get from home is usually, or are usually, agricultural skills, and most of the time it's low skilled.
Okay, maybe can you just quickly highlight as to the importance of this story? I know there's been a lot of outrage on social media, but we'll get there. Can you just let us know why was publishing this story so important?
Um, when it comes to the importance of this story, I think we really try to raise awareness on effects of on some of the effects of these practices of taking advantage of less privileged children, and and how it ultimately fuels the poverty cycles in the region. And secondly, um, we just try to instill, or we're hoping to instill, a sense of responsibility to people who come across uh, these less privileged people living in poverty, and who are often desperate for some income, not to take advantage of them, especially for children who come from poor households.
Okay, so social media has been saying kind of like we only like to portray people from the Kavango as poor people. How do you respond to that?
And to answer the the question as to media likes to paint the people of the Kavango,
Mm.
I would like to refute all those claims that there is no such thing as that. We are mainly trying to highlight the reality that is on the ground. I mean, these things are true, and myself responsible for writing this article. I am a native of Kavango. I was born here, and such claims would be null to me. I just think these opinions are not informed. I think if one looks at even statistics that have been published in the period that I mentioned earlier, over the last 8 years or so, before the split of the Kavango regions into Kavango East and Kavango West, Kavango was still one of the poorest regions, and this is according to statistics. Unless we're saying that Namibia Statistics Agency is giving us, it has an agenda also against the Kavango region, but I wouldn't think that is the case. But anyways, so when you look at statistics, you will find that the Kavango region, the Zambezi region or Angwena region, and other regions that have been regular names on the list of the poorest regions. There are statistics that support the story that I wrote and what other journalists have written or what other commentators have been saying about the Kavango regions being the poorest in the country. So, and these are statistics, these are actual statistics that are there, that have been recorded by bodies that are responsible for gathering that data, or institutions that have capacity to be able to survey the whole country and give us data that paints a picture, that paints a better picture of the country that we're living in, and efforts that various parts of government have tried to improve the life of its citizens.
So what developments have come about since the publishing of this story?
I have been getting calls from good Samaritans who want to help people that we visited or I visited in the regions, Kavango East and West, that are or have been living in abject poverty. And the face of my story, who is Masozi Vihinda, the 10-year boy in my story, and his whole family, the Kavango family, they did receive some food parcels, toiletries, blankets, and so on, and cooking utensils, and so on, and a little bit of money. And also, you find other people coming in who rather want to teach these people or transfer some skills to them so as they become independent in 5-10 years to come. And unfortunately, I can't mention the people, some of the people that reached out to me, who made donations. We visited the Masozi family to hand over some of these donations that were made, as well as about five other households that we delivered some of these parcels to, and just took down their names for further engagement at a later date. Unfortunately, at the time or at this very moment, these people did not wish for public attention or praise, because they really just wanted to do it from the bottom of their hearts, and just to maintain some dignity for the people that they are helping. So they didn't want publicity for it. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, Michael, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.